Hello and welcome to another exciting weekend edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry, your host for today's enlightening journey. Thanks for joining us.
An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. How to wash your hands. Firstly, wet your hands. Then apply some soap. Rub your hands palm to palm. Lather the backs of your hands. Scrub between your fingers. Rub the backs of fingers on the opposing palms. Then clean your thumbs. Make sure to wash your fingernails and fingertips. Rinse your hands. Then dry with a single-use towel. Use this towel to turn off the faucet. And now your hands are clean. When to wash your hands? After coughing or sneezing, after taking public transportation, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare and eat food, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, after handling animals or animal waste. An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Thanks for staying with us. As the temperature rises, it's crucial to be mindful of our energy consumption, not just for our wallets, but for the environment as well. Let's explore some practical ways to stay cool while managing our energy bills effectively.
In the heart of the Caribbean, where sun-soaked beaches meet bustling city life, this time of year Jamaicans face a revolving challenge: managing their energy bills.
Nowadays, the electricity is mostly committed to cooling, or you could say running motors. So during the summer months, there is a lot more need for cooling ourselves. So running fans, running AC, and there's a lot more thirst for water. They want their lawns to be maintained, they want their crops to stay healthy, so we use a lot more water also.
As temperatures soar, so do electricity expenses, leaving households searching for solutions. Here are some practical tips and considerations to help navigate through the heat without burning through your budget.
Many young people are not at school, and so the homes are more occupied in the summer generally. So we need to kind of encourage a culture of going outside more. And somebody may say, but outside is hot. But we have to find ways of enjoying the outdoors and not always be inside. Because when you're inside, usually what are the young people doing? Watching TV or on a laptop or so forth. And all those things will contribute to higher energy. And of course, you have to keep the room that you're in cool. And sometimes that's not properly managed.
It's vital to unplug idle electronics, as many off devices still sip power.
We think that because you press the off button, that your device, your appliance is not using power. But these days you have a lot of smart devices that have to stay alive pretty much, even though you have turned it off, and that will use power. And it may seem like a little bit of power, but we say one cocoa full basket. So a lot of these devices all combined together can cause your power to go up, your power consumption to go up.
Strategic planting can cool your home, though hurricane concerns must be considered.
We can't say you should always have trees because there's also the concern of hurricane season. The hurricane season coincides with the summer, right, the hottest time. So we have to, in a very careful way, see how we can use vegetation in a way that can help in cooling the environment of your home or around your home, but at the same time doesn't increase the hazards that will come because of the hurricane season.
Choosing between airy linen and sweat-absorbing cotton can also boost the summer comfort.
So linen is a very light fabric and it's very airy. Especially in a drier climate, not very humid climate, it's very comfortable. Even in a hot environment, it can still feel comfortable. Cotton is the other one, and cotton is one that will absorb the sweat from your body, and then the sweat will then evaporate from the cotton fiber. And when it does, it actually makes you feel a lot cooler, almost like a natural air conditioner. You can isolate your movement in your home. So if you have to be indoors, stay in a certain room, keep that room cool. you don't have to keep the whole house cool. Or if you have to go from room to room, you can change the temperature to something that you can tolerate.
By focusing on key areas and making smart choices, you can create a cooler and more comfortable living space.
They can ensure that on those south-facing wall, east-facing wall, and your west-facing wall, that you use thicker curtains at your windows. Another thing to do is that if they can apply a reflective coating, like a film or even a tint on the windows, and they might be able to exploit that strategy, ensuring that you're not using a unit to cool a space that it is not sized for. Some people might choose to only have an air conditioning installed for the bedrooms. Don't try to use it to cool the bedroom and the living room and the kitchen and all the other and the entire house.
Innovative technologies are also on the market, offering new ways to manage energy usage and costs effectively.
These days, these include smart devices that have timers on them, which you can schedule them to turn on and turn off. Devices, occupancy sensors, for example, that can see when somebody is in a room and turn on. And there may be even more sophisticated ones that can sense how many people are in the room.
Managing energy bills during the summer is essential for staying cool and cost-effective. Next time the summer heat feels overwhelming, remember these steps to keep your energy usage in check.
I must urge all users of cyberspace, do not, for fear of being labeled a victim, refuse to report or follow through the process. Once you think that there is something wrong, seek advice. And the easiest way to get that advice is to come to Jamaica CERT or to go to the nearest police station. You will not be looked down upon for being a victim of cybercrime because it is a matter of when for us all, not if.
To report a cybercrime, call or visit the website of the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team or make a report to your nearest police station.
Up next, we explore climate change and how our day-to-day activities may even contribute to this growing challenge.
Jamaica is getting hotter. Globally, annual temperatures are rising, with the last few years being the hottest on record. Scientists call this never-before-seen warming of the Earth climate change. Some argue that humans play a major role in the changing climate. In this video series, you will hear about climate change in Jamaica, why it is happening, and how it is affecting our lives. Scientists say that today, the Earth's climate is changing much more quickly and getting hotter more rapidly because of global warming. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, global warming results from human activities that increase the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This means our everyday habits and the ways in which we live our lives are causing the Earth to warm up. Our cars, farms, factories and homes release carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. This contributes to the warming trend being observed in the climate system since 1950. Just imagine for a moment how heat from the sun gets trapped in a greenhouse. In a similar manner, greenhouse gases entering our atmosphere create a blanket around the Earth that traps heat coming from the sun. This blanket of gas reduces the amount of heat that escapes back into outer space, causing the Earth's surface to warm up. We call this the greenhouse effect. For example, the crippling traffic in Kingston does more than just annoy travelers. All of these cars release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. This is bad for our country. But what does climate change really mean for Jamaica and the Caribbean? Learn more in part 2 of this video.
Mommy,
Yes, sweetie?
how can I change my world?
You can change your world by being polite.
Good morning.
Good morning. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Miss.
With just one action.
We can change the world with acts of random kindness.
Stay kind, act kind, be kind.
The recent arrival of new buses for the JOTC was among the plans outlined for the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport at the start of the fiscal year. With more than half of the fiscal year left, let's see what else Jamaicans can expect from not just the transport, but also the telecoms, energy and science sectors.
The Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport has unveiled an ambitious plan to fuel Jamaica's growth everywhere. Focus is on transportation improvements, enhanced access to electricity and innovation. Here are some of the plans. The two main international airports are landing significant improvements.
For Montego Bay, the check-in hall expansion, immigration hall, pre-board screening expansion, car parks and roadways expansion, solar implementation expansion phase 3 with significantly increase and improve the airport's capacity and passenger experience. For Norman Manley Airport, spending $6 million on the runway overlay, and the runway extension is to be funded and implemented by PACAL. These works are now estimated to cost $60 million and are scheduled to commence in September 24 upon conclusion of the amended concession agreement.
Projects are also on the horizon to boost the local airlift capabilities and support tourism.
Vernon Field, a total of $34 million allocated in this budget year for acquisition at Vernon Field as a prerequisite to the implementation of the Vernon Field Light Upgrade Project. The Lionel Densham Airdrome is far advanced. At the Ministry of Finance has given its approval to pursue further development of a proposed $100 million Jamaican dollars to acquire and upgrade the Lionel Densham in St. Elizabeth. The acquisition by lease of the Holland Bamboo airstrip is to be done to facilitate the reactivation of that airstrip. This will make possible airlift to local residents and tourism attractions in that area.
Jamaica's public transportation system is also seeing significant upgrades. Plans are in place to refurbish several decommissioned buses from the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC.
We have started with 8 Golden Dragon. That took us 3 months. That is, the manufacturers send personnel to Jamaica and refurbish. This is not you go to a garage and give a garage man. This is done by the manufacturer to make sure that we get a warranty or a guarantee of 2 years. The life cycle, the normal life cycle of a bus is between 12 and 15 years. For Jamaica and the way we operate, it is more like 7 to 10 years. So you are now going to pay, Mr. Speaker, between 25 and 30% of the cost of a new bus.
New buses are also on the cards.
Another 300 buses are being procured using our own money for the first time from the consolidated fund. This procurement will be done in 3 phases. Phase 1 is the purchase of 100 CNG buses, which are expected to arrive in Jamaica by July 2024 in time for the start of the new school year. Phase 2 is to initiate the procurement of an additional 100 CNG buses by the third quarter of this financial year. The third 100 buses, which are already committed and blocked at the Ministry of Finance for funding, will be done next year for delivery 2026 and possibly earlier.
Public passenger vehicle PPV operators will be offered 16 routes currently underserved by the JUTC. 5 of these will be stage carriage routes operated under a sub-franchise for coasters and minibuses.
Operating through Halfway Tree and terminating in downtown Kingston. These routes will originate from Shortwood, Barbican, Doheny Park, Whitehall and Havendale, and Harbourview.
The remaining 11 routes will be offered to taxi operators throughout the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region. The Transport Authority is also reviewing the PPV license categories and plans to introduce a new VIP license category for the contract carriage sector. Amendments will be made to Section 61, Subsection 5 of the Road Traffic Amendment Regulations 2000. Also, a legal reform consultant has been engaged to review the Road Traffic Act of 2018, which was brought into force with the enactment of the regulations in February 2023.
It is important to point out that the rule of law on our roads must be adhered to, and there will be no watering down of this legislation. Every effort will be made to bring the remaining Provisions Act into force.
Plans are also in place to reintroduce an aged vehicle policy to assist public passenger vehicle PPV operators retool and upgrade their fleet.
This policy will allow for existing PPV operators to import motor cars up to 10 years old and buses up to 20 years old for use in the PPV sector. In order to ensure that these vehicles are used for the intended purpose, a lien will be placed on them by the Trade Board. We will be working through that and making an announcement of the finer details in short order.
Meanwhile, financing is being sought for a transportation system for students in rural Jamaica, driven by the private sector with support from the Ministry of Education. Discussions are ongoing with the Ministry of Finance about the annual subsidy of $10.6 billion it is projected to need for rollout. The Spectrum Management Authority SMA has taken a significant step towards developing 5G technology by reallocating the 600 MHz spectrum for mobile broadband. This move will enhance wireless communications across the country, especially in rural areas, and generate significant revenue for the government. The ministry has completed a national electricity loss reduction plan with support from the Inter-American Development Bank IDB and USAID. The strategy outlines 10 key initiatives costing $74.5 million with projected benefits of $440 million over 10 years. Substantial progress has also been made in community electrification. House wiring has been completed for 2,403 houses in 19 communities. Procurement is underway for an additional 700 houses in the 2024-25 fiscal year.
In collaboration, the SRC will use the gamma ray treatments to enhance the production of 2 of our most sought-after produce, ginger and coffee, and the eradication of the West Indian fruit fly to bolster food security. The new ginger and coffee lines will be made resistant to and tolerant to the deadly pathogens that affect them, thereby refueling the niche markets of our world-renowned, highly valuable Jamaica ginger and coffee.
The Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport serves as a guiding light, leading the nation toward a future driven by state-of-the-art technology, sustainable energy solutions, and streamlined transportation networks.
An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. What to do if you think you have been exposed or are experiencing signs and symptoms of COVID-19? Immediately call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. In addition, you should stay at home. Don't go to work, school, or any public place. Do not use public transport, and avoid visitors to your home. You may need to do this for up to 14 days to reduce the spread of the infection. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
As our nation progresses, so too does our judicial system. Let's take a look at the proposed policies, programs, and projects set to shape the country's court system for the years 2024 through to 2028.
Welcome to the launch of the Strategic Business Plan.
This plan is a reflection of our resolve to leverage the strengths of our nation in addressing our challenges. It is a pledge to continue our journey towards a judiciary that not only meets but exceeds the expectations of the people we serve.
This new business plan carries with it several treats for the stakeholders, with the core values of fairness, accountability, impartiality, integrity, independence, innovation, and respect. And that goes into the acronym FAIR. And commitment, communication, courtesy, accessibility, responsiveness, and empathy. And that goes into the acronym CARE. There is something in it for everyone. The business plan is also impressive as it involves a robust enterprise risk management system to ensure its sustainability and mitigate against numerous threats.
Nobody's business, nobody's business, nobody's business but me all.
The strategic plan, benchmarking the future, consolidating excellence, has at its foundation 5 years of consistent consultation. It is the backbone of our judiciary. Court proceedings lie at the heart of our mission to administer justice impartially and efficiently. A well-functioning judiciary requires robust processes and infrastructure to support its operations. Effective leadership and governance are essential for guiding the judiciary through periods of change and uncertainty. As such, emphasis is placed on the importance of visionary leadership, strong governance structures, and sound policy decisions to ensure the integrity and independence of our judiciary. Our core function is to serve the needs of the Jamaican people. As such, meaningful engagement is essential for building trust and promoting accountability.
We have no doubt that the idea is that you will improve the efficiency and the speed with which cases are being delivered. With this strategic plan, in completing cases speedily and in a timely manner, it will allow more revenue to come within the system.
Next year, we'll be establishing formal training programs for the leadership core of the courts, for the leadership judges, for registrars, for court administrators, supervisors, to develop the skill and competence in managing courts. What we wish to do here to improve the professionalism by which the courts are operated. And so this strategic plan is designed to take us there.
Our new strategic plan addresses the fundamental changes facing our judiciary head-on, with a focus on increasing stakeholder satisfaction, enhancing trust in the judiciary, improving data management, streamlining internal processes, and upgrading court infrastructure, among other key objectives.
And having traveled around the Caribbean and even to the United States as well, I can safely say that there's no other jurisdiction within this region that has the quality of data that we have collected over the last 7.5 years.
A well-functioning judiciary was essential to economic development and social stability. And I'm happy to see that that has been recognized and that the work of the judiciary of Jamaica is supporting the economic development and social stability in this country. So this momentous occasion today signifies commitment to improve and reflects dedication to the principles of justice and fairness that underpin the legal system of this country.
And to close today's magazine, we take a look at the life of Marcus Garvey, a visionary leader and Jamaica's first national hero, born on August 17, 1887.
God and nature first made us what we are. And out of our own creative genius, we make ourselves what we want to be. Follow always that great law. Let God and the sky be our limit and eternity our measurement.
Marcus Garvey has paved the way for us to determine our own destiny, in which we validate who we are and what is most important to us.
It is he who taught us that the black skin is not a badge of shame, but rather a glorious symbol of national greatness.
I shall see the black man to see beauty in his own kind and stop bleaching his skin and otherwise looking like what he's not.
Encouraging us to heed the lessons of history, unleash the power of the pen, and create a new era of scientific greatness.
There is no future for people who deny their past. Mind creates, and as much as we desire in nature, we can have through the creation of our own mind. Liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you will liberate the bodies of men. But in your homes and everywhere possible, you must teach the higher development of science to your children.
Jamaica's first national hero was born in St. Anne's Bay on August 17, 1887. Over the next half-century and 3 years, he would work, find love twice, raise his progeny, and leave behind a legacy that resulted in him being conferred with the Order of the National Hero in 1969. A lifetime after the UNIA was a fact, and the People's Political Party had foreshadowed modern self-governance, Marcus Garvey died in 1940 and finally returned home for lasting rest in 1964.
With God's dearest blessings, I leave you for a while. One love.
As we conclude today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, we hope you found these features informative and engaging. Please stay connected with JIS through our website at jis.gov.jm and on social media. On behalf of the production team, I'm Theodore Henry, wishing you a fantastic weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.